Do you ever feel stuck in life and you're trying to figure out how to get ahead? There's like this push pull that, life can take us in all kinds of different directions, and we're trying to achieve certain things and we're trying to get certain places, but sometimes it feels like we are getting nowhere. We're treading water, that no matter if it's relationships, jobs, family life, if it's physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, it's like we're trying to get ahead. We're trying to do something good, but there's all this stuff that kind of gets us stuck. And so how do we begin to move through that? How do we begin to deal with the obstacles? The philosopher and writer Ryan Holiday says this about obstacles. There is always a counter move, always an escape or a way through. So there is no reason to get worked up. No one said it would be easy, and of course the stakes are high, but the path is there for those ready to take it. All right, so if there is always an opportunity to respond, a counter move to whatever obstacle we're facing that keeps getting us stuck and we can't get ahead, what might be some of our moves to make? So Proverbs 22:1 gives us two to think about. A good reputation is better than much wealth. High esteem is better than silver and gold. So whatever obstacle we're facing, how we deal with it builds the kind of reputation we have, right? Our response in our words and our actions builds a reputation. And so do we have a good reputation? Do we have a reputation for staying calm when things get high pressure? Do we have a reputation for easily getting angry? Do we have a reputation for forgiving, or is it more on the lines of holding on and refusing to let go? Do we have a reputation for bringing peace to situations, or do we have a reputation for trying to control everyone? It's kind of one of those things of thinking through, especially when we're in those moments of feeling stuck or we don't like the obstacle, of what kind of reputation are we creating with our words and actions. And then that second part of high esteem, right? So high esteem, think about it in terms of that word esteem, and Merriam-Webster defines it like this: the regard in which one is held, worth, value, regard highly, and prize accordingly. So your worth, your value. Now, some people may immediately want to jump to, wait a minute, I want accolades. I want everybody to think I'm so great. But this is being said in the context of God's love, God's wisdom, God's integrity, God's forgiveness, God's mercy. And so to think about how our worth is tied to God's love. God says we are worthy because we are loved by God. And what value do our words and actions begin to bring to certain situations because of God's love? Like, do we bring the value of a non-anxious presence? Do we bring the value of being helpful? Do we bring the value of insight and wisdom? Or are we kind of on that more, the reputation we're building is more on the judgmental, easily pops off, ready to ready to hurl whatever needs to happen because it makes us feel better? So those two things, a good reputation and what value do our words and actions give to situations where there's obstacles, even when we feel stuck, because the things that we say and do that are tied to those are way more valuable than any amount of money, because they begin to open up new opportunities. We get to go down paths that maybe we could have never imagined when we tie our reputation and the way we add value to situations to God's love, God's wisdom, God's ethics, God's integrity. Pray with me. God of love, you call us your worthy creation and provide us with the gifts and abilities to live a life that finds value in being loving, compassionate, forgiving, calm, and wise. You challenge us to build reputations that are good and helpful, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. Help us when we feel like we are getting stuck, treading water, and exhausted by the obstacles of life. Give us the strength and insight needed to build good reputations, adding value that is connected to your love, integrity, and peace. Amen.